Have you ever experienced busy brain where you keep looping the same thought or conversation over and over again? Do you find yourself wishing you could just turn it off? Hi, I'm Dr. T. I'm the host of Creating Connection, and I know this pattern well. It is indeed part of being human. And that's why I've created several programs and tools for us to navigate being human together. Meditation is a powerful tool that I use all of the time to bring myself back to the present moment. I have a free 3-minute easy meditation that can be used anytime you're feeling anxious, worried, or caught in a habitual mental pattern. It's called Finding Your Feet because if we can get grounded and remember our feet are here and now and on the ground, we can bring our attention back to the present moment. You can download this audio on my website at ccwithdrt.com/freebie at cc.
Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being, having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multidimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
Different scene behind me. You're going to see it differently, all the time, hopefully from now on. We never know what's going to happen on this show, so we're going to be in for surprises today. So welcome to the show. I have my dear friend, Amy Rose. I love to say Rose because Rose is my daughter's middle name and my grandmother's name. So Rose is very special to me. Romero, brand new last name. Congratulations on your marriage. Woohoo! So, this is all about celebration today because Amy and I both are dedicated to our own personal growth and really being a light in the world. That's what I know about Amy in the very short time that I have known her. But she and I met on a platform that is really dedicated to transformation and really dedicated to living our full lives. And so we can talk about that a little bit later, but right now we are going to get ourselves into this moment, which is the most important thing for me personally, to be here now as I am, letting go of the past, letting go of what no longer serves me, so that I can be the best me that I can be for you. And so the way I do that is that I and we get to ground ourselves and breathe, because breath is really important for really going within, listening to our inner voice, asking ourselves what is needed right now. And so the way to do that is to close your eyes if you can. And if you need to keep your eyes open for whatever reason, then you will still hear my voice and you will be able to connect. You just won't be having your eyes closed. So whatever way works for you, I am going to close my eyes and I'm going to ask my inner self to respond to my breath. Listen to the voice within and ask for the creator of all that is, the one that lives and breathes within all things, to enter into this space now. And we ask all of our guides, teachers, and angels now that work with us every day, that guide us in every moment, to enter into this space with each one of us. I work with different spirit teams And so I ask my spirit teams now to come into this space. My butterfly fountain team to take care of my well-being, my physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, and emotional well-being. I ask the divine connectors, connecting with all of you, to enter in to this space. I ask my spirit totems, my animal spirit totems in. And we now ask the light beings to come through me into this space and connecting in all of that energy into now. Ela tasaneki dabaendo zanai, unde zara yedua hiabaye ua. E unazanei adamama yehi. Una yezundu yehi. And I ask the Earth Mother now to bring her energy up through our legs, starting at our feet, feeling our connection to the earth, asking her energy to come in through our legs and our hips, our torsos, connecting everything in to that grounded energy of Gaia. And then all the way up through our arms and our hands and our fingers, our throats, our heads, connecting up through the top of our crown chakras up into the sky, into the heavenly realms, connecting in with the divine being or beings that we work with on a daily basis. Eletusana maete kupapapa indesa mate necheche mamamayesa. Unasai. And so just kind of integrate all of that in. It will anyway, but really have that intention of integrating all of that energy into your body. And feel your feet on the floor or on the ground or wherever you are. And with a nice deep breath, come back into this space now and open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, Miss Amy, it's
Yeah.
been quite a time since we met and we
Yeah,
saw each other, but you have been very busy in your world.
I have been.
Yes. So tell me how long it's been now. How many months since your wedding?
So we were married in October, late October.
Ooh,
So
it's brand new. Yay. Awesome. So I got to tell people, can I tell people the story of how we met?
yes, please do.
Okay. All right. So Amy is a friend of mine that I met back. When did we do that? Last year?
Yeah, last year. I can't believe it's only been a year too.
I know. So last year, I don't even remember when. Was it at the end of last year? No, it was the beginning of last year. We met in a leadership program, actually called the Leaders Training Program,
Mhm.
where we were really learning how to be leaders in the world and really leaders in our own lives. And I just fell in love with Amy, her spirit, her energy, her dedication to being who she is, and knew that I wanted to really connect on a deeper level. And so this wonderful platform called Facebook came along, for many of us years ago, and continues to connect us in ways that I never thought possible. I just was like, what's Facebook? I don't even know. But I just trusted the process. And lo and behold, Amy's on Facebook as well. So I was able to connect on a regular basis. And I just am finding this world of amazing energy that you continue to embody. And for me, it's called transformation. And I see it and I hear it and I witness it every time that I connect to you. And it's just such a breath of fresh air for me because transformation is in my blood. And I'm also about being authentic. So here, I'm going to show you my t-shirt. People, you can see that it is Batman and his friends. Here we've got Batgirl and we've got Robin there. And it says Detective Comics. Well, I was like, okay, why am I wearing this shirt? Well, first of all, because my husband and I have this thing where we are now having matching shirts. It's a thing that we've taken on. It's fun. And there's always a message, right? We're both really about embodying who we are authentically. And so we took on this superhero world with each other and with other people. And I thought, okay, what is it about Batman that is so awesome? Well, Batman has himself. He doesn't have really, he has some gadgets, right? But he has himself and he relies on his wits and he relies on his ability to, have his values in place. And plus it's very colorful and pretty and all that stuff. But anyway, so I took this on. I also have my Fitbit here because I'm taking on my body system this year. And lots of changes are happening. I'm in a different space. Everything's brand new now. And so I'm asking that question for you, Amy, but also for you, the audience, the collective. What's new this year so far? Because we're only here, in week 2 of January? So what is it that's happening already since October from your wedding? Since you now have 2 businesses, you are constantly sharing yourself, not only vocally, but visibly with videos of sharing your transformation. So I'd love to hear, Amy, whatever is on your heart that you feel like you really want to bring forth. And I want to start with one question.
Okay.
What does it mean to you being a spiritual being having a human experience?
What does it mean to me? It means that whatever the experience it is okay. Like it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be a certain thing. It's just what is happening. And I, being a spiritual being, have the great honor and privilege of creating whatever I want to create. And it wasn't until last year that I actually embodied that. It's like knowing it, but that you can take steps to better yourself, right? Like you're wearing a Fitbit and you're doing things for yourself, but to really embody the knowing of it. Like, for example, with my now husband, I just knew that I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. I just knew my spirit chose him, and no matter what we go through, I just know that that's my reality, right? And I had a moment where I was being interviewed and someone asked, I said something like, when we get married, and they were like, "Oh, when did he propose?" And I said, he hasn't. She thought it was crazy. And I was like, he will though. He will.
Yeah,
By this year. I was like, he will by this year. I don't know when, but by this year. And it happened. And the same thing with our wedding, right? Like we were like, we want to do something different. We want to do a festival and have all our friends there and have them bring what they're here to bring, right? Like, who are we to say what they should bring? And so we just said we want to have a Renaissance festival. Come bring what you can, and we're gonna just have a party and have fun. And it turned into the most magical experience I've ever had. And yeah. So for me, it's like The experience of being human, it doesn't have to be anything other than what you want it to be.
I love that. I love that. That's perfect. So what I heard as you were talking is I heard a lot around manifestation and the law of attraction, which
Yeah.
is something that's very dear in my heart, because I've been working with that for a long time. And I also heard that when we connect to the spirit that we are
Yeah.
and let it really be okay that we're also human, it's that connector. See, it's the connection of honoring who we are as human beings. I mean, it's huge to honor ourselves as a human being. It's like huge. But then, it's like for a long time, I was connecting spiritually, right? And that was really super important to me. And I still do that. And so then I did a lot of spiritual work then I was like, well, I've got these emotions and all this baggage that is just like, wearing on me. What do I do with that? So then I got into recovery. I got into 12-step recovery, and that became this huge, huge opening to my authentic self coming out. And that has become the most important thing is how do I be my authentic self in a human body that has frailties and has ego and has fears and worries and concerns and all that stuff, right?
Right.
At the same time. It's the marriage of the two. And so what I've noticed about you as we've been connecting is that you are sharing that vulnerable part of yourself with others.
Yes.
It would be very helpful for the collective to hear a little bit of that story if you're willing to share it.
Okay. Where do I start?
Where do you start? Start wherever it feels right. So one way I do that, so I'm like, oh, what is the most important thing that I need to say right now to share? So I
Mm,
put my hand on my heart, and you might put one on your gut and ask, what is the most important thing for me to share right now that would send a message that would be perfect for someone to hear, something that will move me to the next level.
right.
Whatever comes up is perfect.
Okay. Well, you spoke about sobriety and recovery, and I am also going to be 8 years sober.
Woohoo!
Right? Yeah. And that's kind of where it all began. I took care of my grandfather while he was passing. That was like a huge blow because he had cancer and didn't tell anybody because he wanted to go. He wanted to pass.
Mm,
So he went really fast, and I had the extreme pleasure of taking care of him through that process, through that journey, and that woke me up. Before
mm,
I was like, I tell people I was like a zombie going through the matrix. Like I didn't get me in any of it.
mm,
It's just an experience, right? Immerse in the experience. So that woke me up, and then after that, it was like I couldn't get a handle on my drinking and drug use, because I knew I wanted better for myself, and it was this constant struggle. And it took about 6 months, and I tried to take my own life. And it was in that experience of I was trying to drown myself, and I physically couldn't. Like I physically couldn't. But there was a moment where I was so out of breath that I had this emulating experience where it was almost like I could feel myself for the first time. And
mm.
there was more peace in that moment than I had had in my existence. And
Wow.
yeah, and I got up and was like, that's what life is about. Like that's what's living. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a spiritual experience right there.
spiritual experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's something to that. And then, spent years in recovery, going through, working through my own trauma, and then trying to trying to get that experience again. You ever try to chase an experience?
Mhm.
And it was only when it was like every time I found another piece of myself, I felt whole. And so I just stopped trying, and I just was with myself. And it's really interesting when I say, where do I start? And then you say, well, just feel your own self
Mhm.
again, because that's really it, is you just sit with yourself, and you already know.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, and that's really interesting, because here's where I just went with that, is like, for myself, for years I was like, okay, I know I'm here for a reason. I know there's a purpose. I started life coaching, and we talked about vision and purpose and all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm here to make a difference. And I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Right. But like, when I got connected to this thing called life coaching, something happened, like a light turned on, and for you, what I heard with what your story was, a light turned on and something shifted,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, in our Alcoholics Anonymous program, in our big book, it talks about, we stood at the turning point. We stood at the turning point. It's like we're at a crossroads. Life can't continue the way it is, but we don't know how else it can be. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know what else to do. We're at a standstill. And and sometimes in that moment, it feels impossible. It feels impossible. And I know somebody out there is needing to hear that. And what I can tell you, and I'm sure what Amy can tell you, is it's not impossible. That's the turning point. You are going to be different the next moment after that experience. And I know that you were different after that experience. So what do you think, from that moment forward, what was it that
It,
actually shifted?
I'm so happy you asked me that, because right when you said shift, I was like, yeah, I literally stopped pretending. I just stopped,
Mm,
took the mask off, and was like, I'm not happy, and I am actually really hurting. And it was so hard for everyone to hear, because I put on this facade that everything was fine all the time. And I then spoke out about what had happened to me as a child, and man, the backlash of it, and it's like, people I learned that people's reactions aren't mine, and I can withstand whatever they're going through too. Not just whatever I'm going through, but whatever they're going through. Like, I can hold space for that. Um, sorry, just one moment. I think my husband just got home.
yeah. So for those of you who are just tuning in, Amy and I are talking about personal transformation, and what does it mean to be at a turning point? What is that like? And we're just going to talk a little bit about that, and you can tune in to whatever resonates for you in this moment. What is your turning point? Because I'm sure many of you are there or will be there this year. So,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you for that. Where was I? Could you help me with
Yep.
that?
So you realized you could no longer hide, and you started feeling and talking about your trauma from
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah. And I realized that there was nothing wrong. Like, it was just, I'm just being me, and that's okay. And I almost kind of pendulum swung the other way, where I was saying too much of the truth all the time, because I had no idea what it was, just to be honest. And
Mhm.
I learned that until I finally got to this happy medium where I want to share myself and share my human experience, to give other people permission to also be human and be in tune with that experience without making it right or wrong or anything. It's just what's so.
So it's interesting that you would say that. Oh, it's too much. And something that I remember from our leadership training program is that would come out of your mouth a lot.
It would.
Feeling like you were too much.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a permission slip that I'm giving you. I love that you're too much. I love that you're outrageous. I love that you let it all out. I love that you shared that you go into 32-degree water to have an experience that is different from your normal life. So I would love to hear why.
The cold plunging. Well, first of
Why
all,
did you do this cold plunging and kept doing it? What is
okay,
the
well,
purpose?
well, first of all, thank you very much for saying that. And I
You're
have
welcome.
I have realized that it's not that I am too much, it's just I'm too much for some people, right? Like, it's too much for them. It's not
And
that.
you're always going to be that for
Yeah,
some
and
people.
I am who I am and what I am, and it's great. I love me, you know.
Yeah, that's what Popeye said. I am what I am.
Yeah.
So the cold plunge. Tell me
cold
about the
plunge.
cold plunge.
Well, before I tell you about the cold plunge, I'm going to tell you about my running journey. So
Okay.
when I first tried to get sober, I would only drink and use drugs on the weekends. And you know that.
A controlled using. Yes, I understand.
Controlled using. I'm not, yeah. So I started running, and it was like, I was very unhealthy, overweight, and bloated. And I ran for like a minute and was completely out of breath. And I was like, this is not okay. Because when I was in high school, I played sports. I was always active. And so I started running. And one of the agreements I had with my therapist too was you have to stop using. So between the running and there's no way that you can do drugs and run so much. So I started running every day and I stopped using, and I just found myself. And I signed up. My friend got me to sign up for my first 5K, which is 3 miles. And the whole time I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I was looking at other people and comparing and judging and totally out of place. And when I finished when I crossed the finish line, I was shocked. Like, even though I knew, like, physically, if you keep going, you're going to cross the line, I was shocked because I proved one of my beliefs wrong.
Nice.
And so I've been on this journey of proving my beliefs wrong.
Yoo-hoo! Oh, I love that so much. I so need to hear that.
Right? And like, even saying I'm too much, I'm like, am I? And so I like go into the store and I hear a song and I'm just like, I just start busting out and I just dance, and it's like, is it too much? And then it's to see it, how it affects other people, and see them start dancing and laughing too, and how much that can actually change a whole, like, you can change the whole area that you're in, you know, just by being you. And so anyway, so I went from barely getting across a 5K to then doing a couple 5Ks to doing a 10K to doing a half marathon to doing a full. Did a couple fulls, and then I did my first ultra marathon, which is 30K or 50K, 31 miles. So I did my first one 2 years ago, and I did it again last year, and I signed up to do it again this year. And
Wow.
I know. And it's like every time it's not even more miles. It's like every time I just keep showing myself that I can do it, I'm proving that belief wrong. Right.
That's great.
Because when am I not a runner too? I'm a runner. Right. And I saw this other influencer that was on Instagram. I saw him cold plunging, and how beneficial it is for athletes to not only reduce the swelling, but also it helps with recovery with your blood vessels. It's really good for your nervous system. It actually calms your nervous system down because you're doing something that you go into fight or flight with, and you think that you're going to freeze, and you are actively proving yourself wrong that you can't freeze. I'm
Wow.
like,
Interesting.
there you go.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So what I hear in your sharing is that you're identifying your limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And again, I've talked a little bit about this with you folks. We've kind of gone into a lot of areas on this show. Limiting beliefs is one that I work with a lot too, which is, what's my dialogue, right? What's the ongoing dialogue in your head, you out there that are listening? And for me, my head, what is my dialogue telling me? And is it serving me? Right? Because then I go into my practice, my intuitive, automatic knowing practice of, I am here for the long haul and I want the highest and best version of myself to show up all the time. In order to do that, I need to stay sober. I need to connect to the God of my understanding. I need to have that God guide my life on a daily basis. And I need to have a relationship with it. And there are all kinds of angels, guides, and teachers out there that are willing to help me. They're invisible and they're also visible. So it's people, human beings, as well as heavenly beings that help. So all of those pieces of the puzzle get to come together for me and say, okay, help me identify what my limiting beliefs are so that then I can shift them. So this is awesome. This is all about transformation and something that I'm very passionate about. And when I'm in doubt, I ask, right? If I get up against a wall that says I can't, then I ask for help. So for you in your life, do you have a connection with the divine that works with you on a regular basis that you're aware of?
Yes. And it's more of an inner knowing, and it's whenever I come across something and I don't want to do it, it's probably a good indicator that I should do it. That's honestly, that's been my truth for a while. And
Yeah.
I do believe that there are spirits here to guide us. Like my grandparents are with me all the time. Like every time a moth lands on me, I actually had a extremely beautiful experience on my wedding day where a dragonfly landed on my neck, and it sat there for like a minute, and I just knew it was my grandfather.
Oh, that's so great.
And it wasn't until my mom started walking me down the aisle, I was told her about it, that she started crying. And she said that when after my grandfather had passed, she was praying to him and out on this oil platform in the Gulf of Mexico that she was working on. And out of nowhere, this dragonfly came and landed. And it was just like, what a beautiful moment, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And
But
for those of you listening, that's what happens, is that your loved ones still want to connect with you, and they will send signs that they're around. So pay attention. May come in a dream. It might be a dragonfly that lands. My mother-in-law, she's dragonfly that comes, and she's shown herself several times. We also have had hummingbirds that have shown themselves to us. My dad often comes in the clouds. He'll, form different things. The day that of his passing, and it was actually the day of his memorial. My husband and I and our daughter were in Las Vegas, and we had gone to a place called Red Rock Canyon. And we went driving through there, and I got out and wanted to look at the landscape. And so I was standing there and I was connecting to him. And all of a sudden I saw in the clouds a phoenix.
oh wow.
And it was totally visible. to me, to our daughter, to my husband. We took a picture. It's in our picture somewhere. It's like, I just started bawling because I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, Phoenix is a big entity, right? But it's, for those of you who don't know the story of Phoenix, Phoenix is the epitome of being, coming up from the ashes, burning yourself out into smithereens and coming back. So it was a really big sign for me. So that's
Yeah.
great that
Yeah.
you're able to connect
Mhm.
with the things that are here that we've been gifted with on this earth plane and realize, oh, look at that. My spirit is here, your spirit is here. We've got this spiritual connection. You know, we don't necessarily identify it always with spirit. It might be called energy, it might be called vibration, it might be called good feeling. You know, it's, you know, whatever we identify with is, I think, what's termed metaphysical, realizing we are more than our human selves. We're more than physical. We're many different aspects. And so that's what we get to experience in this world. So that was a lot to bring in very quickly. It always happens that way. Um,
Yeah.
so everything that we've talked about so far, um, something else that I ask the people that are on the show with me is there a question or a statement that you feel is really super important for you to share with others today before we end?
Oh, a question or a statement.
A message, something that you feel is really important.
You can do anything, like it's not just a slogan or a phrase. Like we have the capacity to do anything. And NASA goes by that as well. Like there's no way that we could have ever gone into space without thinking that there's always a way. And it doesn't matter like who you are or what you've been through. If you can just, like, you are the universe, and however you want to take that is how you want to take it. But it's really you, and you get to decide, and you get to choose what you want and don't want in your own universe.
Yes, absolutely. So where I went to is our world gets created by what? Our words.
Our words. So true.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even just like saying you're going to do something and doing it. It's like proving to yourself that you are a wizard and you get to speak magic into the world, and then like proving yourself that it works. Like
Mhm.
that's honestly what integrity is all about. So
It really is. It really is. So I'm going to share this book. This book is from Mary Gooden, who was a woman that was on my show. Um, and she is dedicated to helping others get their words out in the world as well. And so she has a publishing company, which I don't remember what it's called now, but um, but this is her picture. If you can see her picture on there we go. And she's just a light, like you are a light. And she has this book called Abundant Affirmations, Transforming Lives on Purpose. And so I said, okay, what's our message for today? May I lead with grace through the changes that come. Allow your journey to flow with unconditional compassion, forgiveness, and love. Isn't that beautiful? So affirmations, folks, you can use them all the time in any arena for any reason. And it's simply a statement that you can make to yourself that will lift you up, that expands who you are, expands your limiting belief about yourself or about the world or about what you're doing. And it helps to open the doors to what's next. So for you, Miss Amy, we want to make sure that people know what you're up to in the world and how you are shining your light in business.
Yeah.
So you want to share a little bit about that with us?
Sure. Yeah, I have two businesses. My husband and I own a pie company here in Eugene. It's called Second Breakfast.
I
And
love it.
yeah, we're hobbits. We want to create an extraordinary experience of love with people through food and play. So we're actually getting started. We're going to be doing Hobbit brunches here
Oh
soon.
my
Going to
gosh.
a Hobbit restaurant and having like a whole cosplay.
Wow.
We're going to be doing
Okay.
that.
I got my husband and I've got to come down and see you guys. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's so much fun. It's yeah. And then I also have an online business with a beautiful company called Enagic, and we're helping people create wealth through health. And you really just get to um, work on I wouldn't even say work, just use the products and become like have your body become the healthiest it could be so that you can shine and you can do what you want to, right? And it's that mixing of being healthy creates wealth. And I mean that in the whole sense, not just your body, right? Like if you're drinking purified water and you're using some of the other things that we have, like we have a beautiful turmeric supplement and soap as well, and it's all encompassing. And then you get to work with people who like soul aligned people who are also actively working on themselves,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
it just like lifts everyone up, and we're on a mission to help people. Yeah.
I love that. So that's great. So something I did not, well, actually, how would you like people to find out about that? Those two things. So do you have
Well, yeah, so Second Breakfast, we have a website. It's www.secondbreakfastpies.com. So
great?
you just go there and there's all the details and everything. Um, and then for the online business, contact me through Facebook. That would be the way to go. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Awesome. So one of the things that I love to do is I love cards.
Perfect.
I love cards. So I am not a tarot reader. So any of you who are tarot readers that like want to teach me, I'm up for that. I'm finally like at a point where I think I need to learn the system because my husband loves to get the cards, but then he's like, he doesn't pay attention to whether they're tarot cards or oracle decks. There's a difference. Okay. So tarot is very specific to its way of all the different suits and all the different things in it. I don't know the system, so I can't tell you, but I do know how to read cards and get messages. So we're going to do that today. And I have an angel deck today. And if I can get it correctly here, wait, they're all which way? We are going to get some messages for us. Where is it? There we go. I never knew I could do this online, but I found that I can do it online. It's just a little clunky. So the way we do it is have an intention for your life. This is a brand new year, 2025. We're in the first month of the year. Yay. So it's power time. This is the 9th of January. So numerologically, 1 plus 9 is 10, which means we're on a 1 day. And let's see if it actually works. So it's a 1 day for month and day, and then 2025, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. So 9 plus 1 is 10. So we're still at a 1 day. If you take it all the way across, we're on a 2 day, but that's okay because we've got two of us here. So however you do numerology, you know, it all works. And, you know, I could go into that too. Partnership, you know, a 2-day is a partnership. It's connection, it's communication, it's, you know, not doing life alone. It's all of those things. So this is the way we play, okay? It's all about play. It's all about lightening things up. It's not, it's about, yes, we need to do serious things, but we get to play mostly in the world. So think about your life, think about what you're manifesting, and let's go. So, Amy, why don't you tell me where you want me to stop?
Stop.
Stop. Okay, we're going to stop here, and I see exactly which one it is. And it doesn't really matter what it is because it's all fun anyway. So, this is the 6 of fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or rewards. So there's a man on a horse. He's got a sword. He's got other people that have staffs. And, you know, horse is about power. So really, really looking at where's your power that you have? Is it within you? Is it some power that you need to ask for from the outside? Is it, you know, do you need to charge forward into that new thing that you know that you want to take on? Is it allowing yourself to be guided to the next step? Is it getting up on the horse and trusting that it's okay to do that? You know, whatever you receive from that is just fine. It's fire also, which so it's a fire element about burning up the old, what no longer needs to be there. What else do you get from that?
Oh, well, I took a really big deep breath when you said take on the thing that you haven't been or
Oh,
do.
so
And
what is that for you? What's that one?
that for me is I really want to do motivational speaking. And I used to I used to be a substance use counselor, and I used to do motivational Mondays, and I miss it. I miss speaking in front of people. So that's that. And then the fire, I'm a fire tiger.
Nice.
And I play with fire quite often. So the fire element for me is just like fire in my spirit.
I love it. I love it. Well, and fire definitely exists in your spirit. I see it every day. And it's awesome. It's
Yeah, I
awesome.
continue to tell people I'm trying to glow up. I want to glow up. And so like
Yeah.
the fire and the glow, that makes a lot of sense for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, something I noticed with Second Breakfast is that you guys have like a pie, choose the pie or pick the
Yeah.
pie
We love
or
to play games. So we do a pie of the month every month. And then
ah,
3 days leading up to the new month, we'll put out we'll put out clues. And so people, whoever guesses it first, what the flavors are, wins the
oh,
pie.
nice. And so how do people get hooked up with that? Do they go to the website?
With that one, we're on Instagram and Facebook. And so we
Okay.
post about it there. Yeah. Thank you for
Awesome.
that.
Okay, good. Yay. And the other company that you're with, can you spell it for us?
Well, it's my own company, so it's just me. It's my personal brand, and
Ah,
and if you want to look up the products that I buy, or not I buy, that you buy through me, it's called Enagic. So it's ENGIC, Enagic. And I'm just distributor, and what's so great with it is that we have our own collective and our own community around it. And so
hmm.
it's a bunch of people who so if you want to just buy the products, you can just buy them, right? But a lot of people see it as a source of income because of the compensation plan that they have. It's a high
Okay.
ticket affiliate marketing.
Okay. All
Yeah, and
right.
it's pretty amazing, honestly. Like it's, yeah, the whole community is just, it's
Okay.
wonderful to be a part of.
Well, what's very exciting to me is that you are in action in your life. And so we have a few minutes left here. I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. So we still have a few minutes left. And what I really want to say is, when we took, I don't know about you, but when we took that leadership program, I was like, what am I doing? I don't even know why I'm here. Right. I didn't know why I was there. I didn't know what it was about. But here's the thing. I trusted it. Something about it, I allowed myself to say yes. And I got to meet amazing people like Amy in this community. And what she's talking about also is community and building community. And it seems like 2025 is all about community. Wouldn't you agree with that? Doesn't it seem like
I would
that's
agree.
happening?
Yes, absolutely. And I think community is very vital, honestly.
I think it's really important that we remember to not do life alone. And that's one of the messages that I have shared with all of you pretty much every time that I come on this show is you don't have to do life alone anymore. I give you permission to not do life alone. If it's me that you connect to, great. You know my website. It's brightbutterflynetwork.com is how you find me. Bright Butterfly Enterprises is the umbrella that covers all of the stuff that we're doing here and um, future books that I'm writing. I'm already in the process of writing one, but I'm seeing many of them showing up. Speaking engagements, VIPs, retreats, all of that is being created. And so that you can connect to if anything inspires you, like, I'd really like to have a VIP day with Pam, or, I really wonder about this stuff I saw on your website that I don't quite understand. You can connect to me and ask me questions. And the way you do that is go to brightbutterflynetwork.com and you will see, oh, I can connect in with the mailing list. I can ask her a question by sending her an email. Lots of ways you can connect here live every Thursday. I know I've been having a lot of repeats, and this last year has been crazy as far as my personal life goes. And so it was affecting the live shows for you. This year's going to be different. You're going to see more lives. So thank you for tuning in. So I think we have probably 5 minutes. No, we have actually 4 minutes left. So, Miss Amy, what is the last thing I want to say to you? Interesting. Okay. So you are interested in public speaking and sharing who you are. Do you have an idea of what that platform might be? Or what is something that really lights you up about a platform that would work for you?
I'm not sure. I've thought about doing this, like creating a podcast, right? And just communicating with like-souled people and sharing, but I love getting up in front of people and inspiring them. I just do. And I've reached out to a principal of the high school down here.
Great.
Yeah, and I just my message is just love. Like
Mhm.
the more that you can show up for yourself and love yourself, like the easier, not even easier, just the best, like the best things happen for you because you're giving it to yourself.
Mhm. So there was a man, Leo Biscaglia, I think is his name, that that wrote about love. And I think he's the one that had, I think I think he was a teacher at a university. And it was like one of the most attended classes at the university because it was all about love. It was all about connection. It was all about communication. And so I could totally see you, getting a degree in education and teaching about love. I mean, that's just like, I could totally see you doing that. Another idea for any of you who are like, I want to talk too. I have a message. This is a great way to start. The way I started was Facebook Lives. I just was like, oh my God, you can do Facebook Lives? How in the world do I do that?
Yeah.
I started doing that. Some people go to Toastmasters. Some people, go to their local church or whatever, their synagogue, their, I don't know, somewhere that they know that they can see people, and they volunteer and they say, okay, I'm going to just start talking. Whatever it is that your heart is yearning you to do, saying, go do that. That's my invitation. Go do that. That thing that you are like, I don't know if I can do it. We're giving you permission to go do that thing that you say that you can't do. So, Amy, thank you so much for joining me. It was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and find Second Breakfast Pies. Is it Second Breakfast Pies? Is that the full name?
Yeah.
In Eugene, Oregon. Or you can find her on Facebook. Just look up Amy Rose Romero and say, please be my friend. She will most likely not say no to you. She will say yes with a big exclamation mark. And so I'm that way too. Find me on Facebook. Find me at Bright Butterfly Enterprises on Facebook as well, or brightbutterflynetwork.com. So love all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Amy, for being my special guest. I love you to pieces, and I look forward to more transformation with you on Transformation Talk Radio and the Empower Me Show. Many blessings to all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.